we honestly made a huge process on Jalen's EVO 8. The car runs healthy, no mechanical issue as of right now, but the car is chilling and we're still waiting on more parts to come in and we can go ahead and focus on the front end. What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today is the day that we're gonna be working on my EVO 8. So I had the car sat for like about a month ago because when I took the car out to Mexico and just freaking ripping it, I did hear a little rattle noise. It sounds like something mechanical, some bearing is like shot coming from the engine area. And a month ago, or during that time, we ended up doing the carbon synchros, put the transmission back on. The car ran smooth from then, but after, you know, just beating on it, there's something else going on. So I did double check everything on the transmission, make sure that everything is good to go, everything's buttoned up, check the fluids, all that is good, no shipping material, so we know for sure that the transmission is good. And it kind of sounds like it's coming from the engine side, like somewhere around the timing belt, drive belt, pulleys, you know, one of them. At that time being that I didn't know what's the problem, but I did check the engine oil, that was good. I noticed that my water pump pulley was a little wobbly, so I turned off the car, removed the drive belt, grabbed the pulley by my hand and moved it left to right, you know, just move it around, and it had a lot of play. So we know for sure that the coolant pump was shot. So, you know, I kind of like ignored it for a little bit, which I shouldn't really, you know, did that, but drove the car, got back home, and I did notice that there was coolant on the ground. And when I popped the hood, coolant was all over the place, timing belt, drive belt, you know, it was everywhere. The coolant pump was shot, cracked, something went wrong over there, but we are gonna be replacing the coolant pump on my EVO 8. So we got a new coolant pump here and also a gasket from STM Tune, but this is not an OEM Mitsubishi coolant pump. This is the Gates coolant pump that I ordered from them, and then we got a Fel-Pro gasket. I did order the OEM Mitsubishi coolant pump gasket from STM Tune, but the problem is that the parts was back ordered and I'm not too sure when that's gonna be shipped here, so I end up buying a Fel-Pro from them and just waiting on the OEM gasket until whenever we need to use it. But I think it will be still good. We're gonna go ahead and use those two parts, slap it on the car, and hopefully there isn't any other major issue on the EVO. It is kind of drizzling at my place. It's like every single time, like I mentioned on the video before, every time I want to work on my car, it always starts raining. I don't know why though. It's just, it happens every single time, and it's kind of hard when I don't have a garage here at the place that I'm living at. I do have a tent, but you know, I don't have a concrete and it's dirt, and I don't feel like working on the ground with dirt. So I mean, I don't know how much far we can get into working on my EVO. Hopefully we can get it done before it starts raining heavily. Like I can see here drizzling coming down now, so I don't know if we're gonna start it now. I might just have to wait until to see if the sky clears up, but hopefully we can get this done today because I really miss driving my EVO badly. Let's go ahead and open up the packages, just inspect the parts, make sure everything is good to go, and make sure that there isn't anything defected on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. Oh, never mind. We get the OEM gasket. Sick. The Fel-Pro gasket was inside on the Gates water pump box, and they do come with a Gates gasket and an O-ring, but being that this gasket is kind of like paper, I don't think it's gonna hold. Here is the Fel-Pro gasket and the OEM gasket. I want to go ahead and set it side by side comparison. So that's the Gate gasket, the Fel-Pro gasket, and the OEM gasket. See, here is the difference right here. I know that the OEM gaskets are a lot more thicker than any other aftermarket brands, so I never really kind of trust these kind of paper gaskets on cooling system because of course they're gonna leak. And here is the OEM gasket, so we are definitely gonna be using this bad boy. So let's go ahead and rip it up, make sure it's all lined up on the coolant pump, make sure everything is good, and then hopefully when this rain stops we can start working on it. So I think we are gonna be good. If you guys want to pick these parts up, I'll have it linked down below in the description box. Huge shout out to STM Tune for helping me out on the parts. So like I said, once the rain stops, we can then jump on the EVO 8, get it going, and then hopefully we can finish this job today. So this is where we're at right now. So we took the timing belt cover off, 8 bolts, 10 millimeters, took out the crankshaft pulley, idle pulley. We got the pulley off from the coolant pump. And you can see here there is some little bit shaving materials. You know, something was going on. Engine mount. And now we have access into the coolant pump. So it does look like we need to remove the belt tensioner out of the way in order to get some of the bolts that's holding on the coolant pump. So before I go ahead and do that, I'm gonna set everything on top and center, camshaft and crankshaft. It's hard for me to tell where the mark is at on the lower side, but dang, this thing is kind of leaking. I think it's coming from a cam seal. I do have a special tool that holds on the cam just in case if it moves. There you go, got the special tool on top. If you guys want to pick this up, I'll have it linked down below, or you can use the part number right here. I got this from on eBay. Here is the website that it shows right on top there. It also came with, I think it was the grenade pin. Also come with the belt tensioner special tool. This little guy over here. This goes on top on the belt tensioner pulley. We're gonna go ahead, slack on the belt tensioner pulley, double make sure that we have the top and center on the top and the bottom. Good to go. I'm actually gonna use these clamps to hold on the timing belt on the top, on both side cams, and on the bottom over here, just in case if something moves or if the timing moves. That way we don't have to really correct it as much. So we just can slack the belt tensioner pulley, remove the coolant pump, and then we can swap it over. Check this out. That is crazy. The blade was hitting inside the water pump. Look at all that shaving material that it got in. Oh, check this out. See that right there? That is crazy. Never seen a water pump or coolant pump did that before. It explains why they had shaving materials inside of the pulley. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right there. Pretty bad. Damn. Oh yeah, here. You can see it. The coolant pump is shot. So we did have to take a couple of stuff out because they were in the way of the coolant pump. We had to take the hydraulic belt tensioner, take this piece off, and then there were 5 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bracket from the alternator. You got 1 short bolt, or actually 2, and then 1 long bolt right here, and then you can go ahead and pull the coolant pump out of the way. So that is crazy how that even happens. Damn. So now that we got that out of the way, this is the original that I know coolant pump that is on the car. So we are only going to be doing the coolant pump on my car. I know you guys are wondering why you should have done the whole timing belt kit. I didn't have the money, and the timing belt looks in a good condition, but the fact that we saw a lot of oil that is dripping down from the cam seal that I replaced almost 2 years ago when I put in the HKS 272, I might have to redo that again. But as for now, we're just gonna go slap the coolant pump back into the engine, clean all the oil off as much as possible, and then we can go ahead and order a new timing belt and all the kits, slap it back on. I don't mind doing the double work, honestly. I actually enjoy working on my cars. What we're gonna do now is that we're gonna clean all the surfaces on the engine, make sure everything is clean, the threads, bolts, before we slap in the new coolant pump and the gasket, reassemble everything back on. After we put all that back, I want to go ahead and top off with water, making sure that there isn't any leak coming from the coolant pump before we go ahead and reassemble all the parts back into the car. So let's go ahead and do that. Clean the old gasket off from the engine, slap on a new coolant pump, gasket, top it off with water, reassemble everything back in, and hopefully everything goes well. As I forgot to mention, we're gonna be replacing that O-ring gasket too at the same time. That is the coolant pipe. This is what I mean, guys. Every single time I work on a car, always rains. Why? It does get so sickening of just working on a driveway. Tired of just working on a driveway and not having a garage or a shop and have to deal with a rain and now waiting. It's just, frick, this sucks. Literally sucks. So now it's either we wait until the rain stops, or we'll just work through the rain, get soaking wet, and get the car done. I think we'll go with that option. So as I showed you guys on the video, didn't really explain much on the beginning of the mark, but if you can see here, so that white mark here on the pulley is gonna line up with that arrow right there. And then it's hard to see here on the crank side, but let me see if I can bust a light on, show you guys. There's a notch right there, and then it lines up. You can see there's a line right there, so that's where you're gonna need to line it up. And another one here on the gear, there is a white thing on top of the gear that lines up with that notch over there. And I know it's really hard to see, but all that on the bottom section needs to line up. So I got everything else buttoned up. I did have to take the hydraulic tensioner to the shop and have it press on the vise and put in a grenade pin, and then put everything back on top on the timing belt. So basically just had to run down, came back up, pre-tension the hydraulic tensioner, put the grenade pin in, set the timing, belt tensioner pulley, take out the grenade pin on the hydraulic tensioner, and then set everything there. But I am gonna go ahead and rotate the engine for resolution, just to make sure everything on the top and the bottom of the engine, cam gears, and crankshaft are at top and center. and then we can go ahead and button everything back in. So I am gonna go and work through the rain because I can't wait any longer. So I want to get this car done, like get it done, get it out of the way so we can start driving it, enjoy it, and start ripping it. I did just put in, you know, 50-50 mixture of coolant already. Just dump it in there. I feel really confident that it's not going to leak from the coolant pump, so we should be good to go. Everything else is all nice and tight. Timing belt is on point. Everything looks good. I gotta find this bolt over here to put this back in place. That way the power steering line doesn't contact on our cams. But I think everything is good to go. Just throw in the battery. The battery's fully recharged. Now let's go ahead and start up the car, bleed the cooling system, make sure there's no leaks, make sure there's no air in the system. Everything should be good after this. So we're running for 15 minutes. So far, no sign of any leaks. We got all the air bubbles out of the cooling system, so that's all good to go. No rattle noise on the engine, so that's all good. I kind of wish that I recorded the noise just so that way you guys know what, like a reference on the noise that you be hearing. But kind of shows here that how bad the coolant pump is. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the car sit for like another 15-20 minutes, get it cooled down a little bit, and we can go ahead and do a road test, make sure the car is running good. So I am kind of a little dirty, sticky, rained out. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself all cleaned up, then we can go on the road test, cruise it a little bit, hit boost, let it rip, and then yeah, I just want to rip on this car. It's just been too long. Totally forget how it feels like. I've been driving my Honda for over a month, and it's good on gas, but power sucks. But I love my Honda. I really love my Honda. car is nice and clean. Car runs 100, runs really good. No issue with the cooling system. Super excited to just drive this car again. It's gonna feel good. I might get over it after and then have the car sit for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks like usual. If you guys want to pick up those special tools, I'll have it linked down in the description box below. I hope it does help anybody out there with the 4G63 engine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification for any updates, videos that I upload. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Aloha guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.